Very simple chord, but it sounds really wide because we also cranked in that stereo as well, so the intensity is there, and we did nothing. What's up, Archie Beats here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to my home studio. Today we have the Universal Audio Anthem analog synthesizer. A lot of vibe. You can scope basses, leads, that actually fits your song or any genre. As a musician, I have a lot of fun with this synthesizer, and the sky's the limit with the ability of sculpting the sound and getting it to the point that you need to get it to. And this is done by its lo-fi vintage modulation effects, spring reverb, and dub tape echo. With the R&B chords, with the track that you guys just heard in the intro, that was me utilizing the spring reverb and some of the built-in effects in this kind of module setup here. In the filtering section and that three-part chorus, modulation, and space effects section at the bottom, I really utilized it and dived deep into it to get those big chords, and we're going to take a look at that as well. So with this, you get an innovative virtual synthesizer which gives you perfect texture. Combining your two oscillators with the effect and the filters, you get that nice texture. So you really have control of your texture of your sounds with this synthesizer. This is compatible with Mac and PC, so don't worry. It makes me want to play music. This thing is really funky, and I have quite a bit of vintage synthesizers hardware, and this is actually living up to it. So it's really cool to see that and get all of these cool instruments, which is really cool. You have your polysynths, you have your bells, leads, the best of. You guys can dial in and see their best picks of this. You have drums, strings, sequence, pads, whatever you need. You really have to dive into it and scope the sound that you want. I'm pretty sure you will come up with something regardless of what genre you guys are into. As you can see, we can go back to the 70s and 80s, or we can come up to the 90s to the 2000s to our time or whatnot with R&B and funk. So a really great tool, and a huge thank you to Universal Audio for sending this out to me. Universal Audio Anthem synthesizer really makes me want to create music, because this is what this is about. This is about taking your passion for music and combining these tools with it and creating some cool sounds and getting some cool out of it, man. So a huge thank you to Universal Audio for sponsoring today's video and getting this out to me. So let's hop on the screen and do a walkthrough and discuss what makes this synthesizer so special. Let's take a look. And here it is. Let's pull it up right here. As you guys can see, let's bring up the lead track here. This is actually one of the default sounds that's on the Anthem analog synthesizer, and I use it as a lead and really just dive into it. That's why I said it's not about having a bunch of sounds. It's about, do you know how to utilize the things that are around you and that are in front of you in your studio? And these are one of the tools right here. So let's take a look at it. First, let's talk about this track here. This track, with the exception of the drums, was entirely done with the Anthem Synth, and it's not that many. As you can see, there's not that many tracks. The overall view of Anthem analog synthesizer here, you see you have two oscillators starting from over here. You have 1 and 2, and then down here you have your coarse and fine tune as well right here, and then you can shape those up. For example, listen to the sound. As you can see right there, and you have your LFO, and then you have your F envelope right there at the bottom, and then you have your sub, and then your sub octave for -1 and -2. Hear that? It went down an octave, sub octave, you hear that? And then the oscillator right here has the same settings. And we have our warp and modulation here down at the bottom, our LFO, our F envelope here. We got our sync and ring, warp mode. All of this is your warp section here. And then if you go over here right to it, we have our mixer right here for our oscillator 1. So you hear where our oscillator is disappearing. Let's bring up our oscillator 2. The sound is in there, so you guys can hear oscillator 2. So this is what oscillator 2 is doing. We fine-tuned it. As you can see, that's pretty much how the synthesizer work, is that you can actually mix the oscillator 1 and 2, and you can blend them together in here. And you can also add noise. And you see this right here. They really did a great job with this as far as the pink noise and the white noise, the pink knob module, the pink knob. Of course, you press the pink knob down, you're going to get the pink noise, and you're going to get the white noise. So you can blend that into your sound as well, and you have control over the noise you bring. which is really cool. Then you have your pitch module, you have your pitch mod here, and then you have your effects section, filtering section here in the middle, and that is, you have control of your drive. For example, let's bring this back up, bring this sound back up. So bring our drive up here. You can hear that drive in the lower frequencies. We have our mod here, and you have your LFO. Watch the pulsation change with that. You have your key here. You can send this key to the high pass right here, and they have really good signal flow. It is pretty much cut and dry. There's no patching, virtual patching cables into it. You can see right here, all of this is leading to the high pass right here, and then your growl up here. Down here is your effects section. Now this just the default sound. That's what I really want you guys to think about. This is just a default. It's cool sound. Then our mod effects right here. Our mod effects, you can do the flanger plus, the flanger negative. You can do your phaser, wobble, and then you can control the rate as far as the pulsation and also the depth of it as well with this mod effect right here. And then your space, this is more of your reverb effects. And this is where you really access that spring reverb at right here. And I like that. I love that. It really sounds like a spring reverb. It puts me in the mind of my grandmother, my synthesizer grandmother. It has that built-in spring, and this really sounds like a spring. It's a really emulated spring verb right here. And then you can put your time in here. Like you control your reverb, also sync, and then your tone of it. You have your filters over here. You have your filter envelope, amp envelope, LFO here. You can see the rate is pulsating here. And also you have a built-in sequencer. So if you activate it without the sequencer, yes, cool, right? And you can actually control it. So really cool synth, man. Really cool synth. Our voices down here. We can do mono. Let's turn off our sequencer. Then we have our cut off and our bend amount. Our voices, our glide. You can crank up that glide over here. I like to glide things myself. I really like that glide there. You can use that for like basses and subs and things like that, which is really cool. Then your tune. So now let's talk about the actual sounds in this. So with the sounds, you see it's organized like Universal Audio. They do such a great job with this, where they organize by type, by genre, by description and all. You have your pads. It's quite a bit of sounds that's built into this synthesizer here. So let's talk about the R&B track. Remember we played it? So let's talk about those chords really quick. So we really leaned into the effects. This instrument is called the melting tron. I turned up the wob here, and also the chorus is cranked up, and we have our reverb on echo, which is a really cool sound. Very simple chord, but it sounds really wide because we also cranked in that stereo as well. So the intensity is there, and we did nothing with the oscillators, the mixer, nothing, filters, nothing. We just really leaned into the effects with these chords on the actual stock sounds of the Meltontron, which is actually under pad. So be sure, if you guys like that sound, make sure you check that out. It's in there. I really appreciate you for watching this video. Don't forget, if you have any questions, don't forget to comment them below. I'll be happy to answer them. Really cool synthesizer, and a huge thank you to Universal Audio for sponsoring today's video, but also getting this to me early, so I had a little time to jam out with it, which is really cool. For me, this is about the music. It's about making music and having fun doing it. Don't forget to be great and create. This is your boy Archie Beats, and I am signing off.